Hey girl, it's Raya Maurelle, and girl, in today's video, I will be showing you my new note-taking routine. I did one of these videos last year and you guys seemed to really like it, so I figured I'd show you guys my new updated note-taking routine for this year as a college sophomore. If you've watched my last note-taking routine, then you'll know that I gave more of a general overview. I didn't really go into specifics of like how I write, like how I write my titles or the font that I use. So for this video, we are gonna go into specifics a little bit more. We're gonna talk about my process and also, of course, a binder flip through. Binder flip through the essentials, because I know that you guys love seeing binder flip throughs. I love them too. I just find them very, very satisfying. So we're gonna be doing that. So the structure of today's video is I'm gonna tell you guys the process of how I write. Then I will give you a binder flip through first to give you like a general overview of my note-taking style this year. And then after that, I will dive into specifics of how I write. So again, just putting out the same disclaimer, this is not some like fancy, artsy, bullet journaling type of note-taking routine or note-taking style. I find my note-taking style to be very minimalist, but very pink. Very minimalist. It's very easy to maintain throughout the whole school year. It doesn't require like any artistic skills or capabilities. Before we begin, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, I would love to have you be a part of this little family. So make sure to hit that subscribe button down below, especially now that it is Vlogmas season. I will be posting 2 times a week, so make sure to subscribe for that. And if you want to watch my last note-taking routine, if you haven't seen that yet, I will link that down below. I will also link down below my college playlist. So first, let us get into my process. So I have some professors who allow us to take notes using our laptops, and surprisingly, a lot who do not. So if my professor allows laptops to be used in class, and I will take down lecture notes using Google Docs. So I suggest that you activate Google Docs offline so that even if your classroom doesn't have Wi-Fi, you can still write down your notes on your document. And I also suggest that you make different documents for each of your classes. And tip number 3 is to add these documents to your bookmarks so that you can easily access them, and also so that they don't get lost. Because, you know, the good thing about Google Docs is that you can make so many documents, like as many documents as your heart desires, but the downside to that is that you can lose all those documents, especially if you like make them in a rush and you forget to title them. So yeah, make sure to use one document for each class and also bookmark them so they don't get lost and you don't have to spend time looking for them. So if I am not allowed to use my laptop, then I will take notes on my binder. Initial notes. This is different because last year I had a separate notebook where I would write like my initial lecture notes, but right now, like, I'm honestly just trying to bring as little things as possible, so I just didn't want to bring an extra notebook. So now I just take initial notes on my binder as well. And when I write my notes in class, my handwriting is pure chicken scratch. Like, girl, it's not cute, because my goal is just to copy as much as I can as fast as I can. If your professor switches slides really fast, and obviously since you're just handwriting, sometimes like it's just too fast and you can't write everything, girl. So my tip, which I mentioned in the last video, is to skip definitions, skip things that you can find in your book because you can just copy it from your book. Focus on writing the things that you know will not be found anywhere else except your teacher's brain, your teacher's slides. And another thing that I've been doing this year, which I find really, really helpful as well, is I actually print out the chapter that we're currently discussing. It's better to print out the chapter rather than bring the entire book because, again, trying to bring as little stuff as possible, so I don't want to bring like a very bulky book, so I just print per chapter, which isn't a lot. It's usually like 40 to 50 pages, and when I print it like 4 pages per piece of paper. So that's what I do. And then, for example, I see like a very lengthy slide and I'm like, oh, I don't want to copy that. I'll go to my printout of the chapter, I'll check if it's there, and it usually is. If it's something really long, usually the professor just copy and pasted that from the book to their slides. So if it's there in the chapter, I highlight it, and on my notes I just write C page 302 and copy. Yeah, so that saves so much time. And then after that, after all the writing of lecture notes, I try to rewrite my notes within the week that I took them. That's ideal. That is the ideal situation, but we do not live in an ideal world. Why was I clapping like this? We do not live in an ideal world. I'm not gonna lie, I have a bunch of notes in my binder that I've written like a month ago, which I definitely do not suggest because it does pile up. And you don't want to have to spend like 3 hours just rewriting all the notes that you pushed back or like you procrastinated doing. So I definitely suggest that if you can, rewrite them as soon as possible. Anyways, that is it for my process. So binder flip through time. Now let's talk about my note-taking style, the specifics. Okay, so we're just gonna use this paper over here. First, I'm gonna show you how I do my titles. So if you remember these ones, they're pretty simple actually. Okay, hopefully it focuses on the writing and not on my hand. So I like to stay between the very first line and I just write chapter using capital letters. So chapter 1. And then I like to write that exact same thing in cursive right on top of it. And then under, I like to put the actual name or title of the chapter. I don't go past this line if you can see it. And then I just put 1 dot and then I will put title of chapter in capital letters, and then I end it with a dot again. That is how simple my titles are. Now, how do I do my subheadings? It's very, very simple again, but I like it because it really does a good job of dividing my notes. So for example, over here, I will put subheading, and I will try my best to put it in the middle, but I'm usually not exact. And then I like to take the calligraphy pen again, and I'll literally just draw a straight, well, it's not really straight, but I'll do a line like that, just like that. And obviously it's not perfectly straight, but it's fine. I had to get over it too. This is how I write definitions. And then for my bullet points, I like to do open bullet points. And there, just like that. So this is basically my font and how I write and my style. So again, this is how I do my titles. This is how I do my subheading, and then this is how I do the rest, the body of my notes. So that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this version 2 of my note-taking routine. Next week, we will actually be talking about digital notes, so make sure to get ready for that. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to click that like button and hit that subscribe button. I'll see you next week for another video. Bye, girl!